man, especially because you got all these words being thrown around, like pervert and all this junk. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just like, how did this happen? Close enough to downtown to get a nice view. Close enough to the ghetto to get some good homeless people. We're eating out the trash. Pretty good. We got some rice, some beans, corn and potatoes. Sounds like a good Russian meal or Appalachian meal or something. Probably about 2.5, 3 years ago, I just kind of went through this route where I tried to be a pastor, didn't work out, wasn't too happy about it, and I ended up kind of trying to take the Gospels a little more seriously than I have in the past, and I sold all my junk, gave all my money away, and lived on the streets for a year and a half to kind of figure out that poverty and the systemacy and if all the stereotypes are correct and why churches did or didn't do anything about the problem. And it kind of just evolved from there. And so now I just go around and try to introduce churches to their local homeless communities and see these folks as friends and neighbors, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anyone want to adopt a Jesus today? There's 3,000 people sleeping on the streets, and this packet is just a covenant to pray for this person. And if you see them, that you'd bless them and give to them, take them in, or maybe feed them. There was a producer from West Virginia that I met. He worked with PBS, and he had gotten in contact with me to make a movie. And at first I wasn't too jazzed about that idea because I don't think I have much of a story. And I kind of had to get over that because I realized in the past there was a lot of stories that influenced me, and it was just someone's story. So him and an audio guy came on the road for 14 days in my school bus, and we just went out and let any homeless person that needed a bed for the night sleep in the bus.
A lot of drug use I do, you know what I'm saying, I do it out of pain. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the push to be out there on the streets and be with people whose sins were like so exposed, I had this idea that maybe if I was around these people that were so open about their past and their struggles, that I can slowly get to the point where I can be open about my past and my struggles. God really did some amazing things through me and through the projects that I started, but every single night, you know, I was still going back to, you know, dealing with the porn addiction that I had since I was 11. There's a lot of homeless people that walk by and they see the bus and they see Can't Ignore the Poor, and I mean, they kind of get it real quick, so they know this is a place that they can come and hang out. I was always afraid to see what happened to all the pastors and clergy and friends of mine that got caught in their sin and their lives were just wrecked, and the church just threw them on their butts, you know? And I didn't want to be one of those people, so I just kept my mouth shut. And so, and until I got caught. It started to get more elevated, you know, as I became of age, like 17, 18, because I started to realize that I could interact with girls. What ended up happening, there was one girl that, you know, as these things are going on I mean, online where, like you said, I'm, you know, like naked and she's naked and we're kind of doing this through a webcam. You know, she captured a picture of it and found out who I was and gave it to people who were out to get me, basically, and spammed it on every online article and video and anything there was about me talking about the poor and all the stuff that I did. Once that happened, everyone just shut down. My people that were funding me just pulled out. I lost momentum. I really had no idea. I had no idea what to do. I was just... I mean, what do you do when you get caught? I had a choice to make, you know, like I could either do some good PR and, you know, damage control and try to weasel my way out of it, or I can just realize that, you know, I put myself in a horrible situation and God still is who He promised He is, and He can redeem this. But it was one of those things where I was almost, like, after I sat down and rationalized it, I was excited about it because I felt like I could finally get free because everybody knows. People automatically assume that because you got caught, you're done. You're not done. It takes a lot of dang support and a lot of honesty and a lot of openness that I feel that we're not so much that the church isn't ready for, but we haven't prepped ourselves to be that open, you know? And if we can't be open-armed to folks who struggle within our ranks, then, you know, how in the heck are you gonna ever deal with someone who has a real problem?